Hi everyone, James here. This is a look inside the box of Eduard's 1/72 scale Angel of Mercy, the B25 Mitchell. As I mentioned before in my stash ad, I think this is a Hasegawa kit, but then Eduard's reboxed it and added their instructions, decals and some resin. I could be wrong on that. So on the front there is the B25 aircraft itself, saying it's limited edition, Eduard's name and the logo, Angel of Mercy, scale, and then on one side is again the scale and the name, and you have 5 of the schemes and just what's inside in several languages, and the other side is another 5 schemes. So opening the box you get the Hasegawa kit itself, separately bagged. I have opened it. You get another separately bagged canopies, and the front and the top one again separately bagged. The decals again separately bagged. It's the resin wheels. The instructions. There is a correction decal, and then again separately bagged each is the photo etch and masks. So just taking the first sprue gate off the pile is the top and lower halves of the main wing. There is some very nice detail, recessed panel lines. It's free from flash that I can see. Close up detail. It's the lower halves. It's the top halves. Next one, there is various interior detail. It's the rear control surfaces. Again, more interior details, weaponry, the landing gear oleos, some bomb racks, the external weaponry on the chin. There is moulded harnesses here as well for the waist. You do get a duplicate sprue tree, that's for the left and the right engines and nacelles and the props. So you get the engine itself, the cowling, main landing gear wheels, it's the bulkhead, the prop, the bomb, some more weaponry, more parts for the bomb also. Next sprue, there is more interior detail. I'm guessing this is the wing spar for the main wing, and like the crews crawl through. Some more weaponry, part of the lower nose, some more interior parts. Last sprue tree have the two main halves of the fuselage, the engine nacelles, main landing gear doors I believe. It's moving on next to the separate bagged clear parts or transparencies. You do get some plastic washers for the props if you wish to make them go around. So what I can see, there is crisp detail to the canopies. There is very light framing, so you will struggle to mask yourself, but they do come with pre-cut masks. Moving on next to the decals. I have had these out and I've pulled this film off, and again there is some sort of texture or staining to the decals, as you can see here. But they're in good register, the colours are good, you can see clearly the details, the readable. You do get, I'm guessing it's an error maybe, the Battling Betty. There is slight differences I'll show the close-ups in a second. As you can see, there is slight differences. I did think you needed two, and they forgot to add the second one. But it is a correction. You can't see it, but there is some white detail coming off that leg there. And again here, there is white around the legs area. And again, it's all over the decal sheet, that staining residue of some sort on there. Moving on to the resin, the photo etch and the masks. Let's get the nose wheel and the two main wheels as well. It's the diamond tread pattern. And then the photo etch, you do get the engine and I guess some external details or internal. As well, you get the crew compartments area, the two-piece instrument panel, some harnesses. And then the pre-cut masks. Lastly, instruction sheet. On the front you get the Mitchell, the Angel of Mercy title, the word saying instruction sheet, scale, it's 1/72. Opening over, as usual, you get the plastic parts map, the resin and the photo etch also with the masks, and at the bottom you get the colour suggestions as well. So moving on to the build steps, something to note, most instruction sheets are numbered. These are in alphabetical, like A, B, C. So starting off, you're adding detail to the inside of the two fuselage halves, down to the bottom, C and D, you're starting to add detail. You're cutting the plastic part off and replacing it with a photo etch. Again, E, some more interior parts, and then you do briefly add the resin to the main nose oleo. Again, you're back G, H and I, you're back again into the cruise interior. Over the page J, K, L, you're still inside the fuselage halves, adding more detail. Over the page, you're finishing up at the rear of the aircraft, adding the detail. It's like here you're cutting, or it could be pre-cut, the escape hatch, and then you're sealing the two halves together with all the detail inside. Over the page, you do now make a start on the main oleos and wheels to go into the engine nacelles, and then you're starting to add the two wing halves, the top and bottom, and also incorporating in the previous step the oleos and wheels. Now steps O, P, you are starting to add and build up the two engines, and briefly you're back to the front area of the fuselage, adding the weaponry and some transparencies to that half of the front nose. There's also a note here saying don't forget to add the nose weight for the balance. As we all know, if you forget to add weight to a tricycle landing gear, as in the nose wheel that's on the front, it will sit on its tail, as there is sometimes or always more weight on the rear for it to sit on its tail. Over the page you're building up the top turret. Steps are also adding the rear control surfaces and the fins, building them up, also ready to go with previous steps of the main wings. That's all being glued together with the engines also on the nose. There is this page indicating where to add the photo etch antennas and making your own fibre or fishing line for the wire there. It's indicating, it says glue the fibre, maximum of 0.06mm diameter. There is a masking guide to masking the clear parts and wheels also, just to suggest some places to use liquid mask, or you could cut out some of your own masking tape to fill in, as it just adds the outside of the pre-cut masks, shown here in purple. As the build step's finished, there is the 10 schemes. Last two pages, there is the stenciling positions for the warning decals, where to add the oil hatch for the engines. Again, it's more stencil positions for various hatches and inspection hatches for the top and bottom sections, and then there is some Eduard goodies for the engine Mercy if you wish to enhance it even more with some more photo etch and I guess resin, bombs and M2 Browning weapons, photo etch. So that's been the Angel of Mercy 1/72 scale B25 Mitchell by Eduard. Thanks for watching.